Hello and welcome to another video. Now, as many of you know, I used to live in Sweden and I used to work in Denmark. And one of the things my Danish friends were always asking me is, have you tried red beet salad? Never had, at least not the Danish varieties. And so over the years, this became the dish which I associated most with Danish cuisine. So that's what we're going to make today. It's surprisingly simple and absolutely delicious, and I think this will be something that all of you will enjoy. So, on we go. We'll talk about ingredients and then onto the preparation. So the ingredients are pretty simple. We have beets, we have horseradish, dried cranberries. Now you need some sort of cheese-like thing for holding the horseradish, and I'm using quark. You could use like chevre or like a goat cheese or a cream cheese even, but you need something in that area. So I'm using quark. There are other things you could use. We have apple cider vinegar, and then we have some salt and pepper. And really that's all that goes into this salad. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to peel this beet and I'm going to cut it into matchsticks. Please note, beets are well known for staining everything they touch. You can expect possibly to stain your hands a little bit, but at least with fresh beets, that never seems to be a problem for me. But then we'll put that in a bowl. So I would definitely use a plastic cutting board, not something like wood, where the beet juice will probably seep in and give you some nice color stains. So to cut the beet into matchsticks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it relatively thinly, and then I will have some slices of peeled raw beet. And it's worth noting, before I had tried this salad, I had never ever had a raw beet dish before, but they're actually kind of nice. And just to keep things stable, I flip the beet around like this. Makes it a little bit easier when you get to the end. Especially then. No, I think that'll be good. And then we take these, we stack them up, and we slice them again another direction, thinly, to make matchsticks. So I'm just going to show you on this one. And so you can see nice little matchsticks. This piece may be a little big. I'm going to slice it a little bit more. And I'll come back when all these are in a bowl. So here we have our red beets. We're going to add just a slight sprinkling of salt. And if you add too much, it's not going to be the end of the world, because we're also going to add a splash of vinegar. Now the target amount is maybe 1.5 teaspoons per beet, but it doesn't really matter, because once this is done marinating a little bit, the liquid will be gathering in the bottom of the bowl, and so there won't really be, you won't really have to worry about, oh, I added too much vinegar. Then of course we're going to toss in around a tablespoon or so of dried cranberries, and we're going to stir this up. So stirring this up here, you can see, excess vinegar gathers at the bottom. It's really not a problem. And the vinegar just lightens up that beet color, turns it bright red from sort of a dark red. So we're going to go ahead and now let this sit off on the side and just kind of let this marinate while we prepare the next bit. Now for the white side of it, I'm just going to take a nice kind of largish spoonful of the quark here. I'm going to add it to my bowl, and You definitely don't want to use something like kvarg, which just sounds like quark and basically is kind of the same thing, but it's not quite as thick. You need something really thick on this. So I'm going to add this here. I'm going to grate, I think about, maybe an inch off the bottom of this horseradish root, and I will add that, and then we'll go from there. Now to grate fresh horseradish, usually what I do is I peel the skin off at the bottom, and then I take the fine grating side of the box grater, and I'm just going to grate it. And when I'm done, I will scrape it from the inside, as well as see what I can do to get the stuff on the outside, and go ahead and add it. So I'll be back when I'm done with the grating. So here I have my freshly grated horseradish, and you could use not so freshly grated horseradish if you want, but I think it's really good if you have the fresh stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and add that. Most recipes call for about a packed teaspoon per beet. This is probably similar to that. If you add too much, obviously horseradish is a bit spicy. If you add too little, then, well, you won't taste the horseradish. So then we're just going to season with some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to stir this up, and we'll basically kind of make a cheesy ball out of it and let that sit again for just a short time. So I'm going to go ahead and include the stirring process here. There's not really anything to say about it, really, other than we want to get stuff kind of nicely stirred together so that as the horseradish contributes its flavor, it's kind of somewhat evenly in the cheese. And, whatever you add here in the cheese, and quark is basically a cheese, right? It's a strained yogurt that's achieved this sort of cream cheese-like consistency. But the horseradish flavor will get stronger over the next few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and leave this here and come back in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So now it's been maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and put this together by putting basically bits of both sides around each other. And you'll note this is basically the color of the Danish flag. Anyway, maybe that's part of the reason they like it, I don't know. And we can just keep doing this, but basically to the point where you like to stop. And I've managed to get a little bit of beet juice on the plate over there, so I'll probably whip that up a little bit, but I think that looks good. And then to top it off, I usually add just one more ball of the cream cheese type stuff on top, and then garnish it with some freshly chopped fresh dill. Here we are. Now for the taste test. I'm going to get a piece with both the horseradish mixture and the beet mixture. Now this is definitely on the spicy side, but I really, really like it this way. Just a bit sour, a bit spicy. I think this is absolutely delicious. So, hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Bon appetit, and see you next week.